Commissioners, thank you for the opportunity to come and pray. So we appreciate it. So, Father, we love you. We praise you. We thank you for all that you've done for this great city. We thank you, Lord. We pray for the prosperity of this city, that we would grow and that everything would be held in order. We thank you for the wisdom that you bring all of these in here, the staff and board. Lord, that they would be wise, Lord, and understand and know how to lead this city. We thank you, Lord, that you would protect this city from all harm. And we thank you for unity and for everything that you have in order for this place. Lord, we thank you for your blessings that you bestow upon us. We thank you for this great day. In the mighty name of Jesus, amen. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Pastor. All right, we have a review of agenda and we have a motion to, I'll move to amend the agenda to add an executive session to discuss personnel matters of non-elected personnel and add an executive session to discuss confidential data relating to financial affairs or trade secrets of corporations, partnerships, trusts, and individual proprietorships.
I'll second.
Motion is made by Mayor Hendricks, seconded by Commissioner Maples, to amend the agenda to add an executive session to discuss personnel matters of non-elected personnel and add an executive session to discuss confidential data relating to financial affairs or trade secrets of corporations, partnerships, trusts, and individual proprietorships. Mayor Hendricks.
Aye.
Commissioner Van Oster.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Faulkner.
Aye.
Commissioner Maples.
Aye.
Commissioner Edwards.
Next up, we have the consent agenda, the meeting minutes from the last meeting, May 28th, 2024, and the 2024 appropriation ordinance number AO-24-11 in the amount of $4,356,526.51. Commissioner Maple.
I have some highlights for that. Let's see some of our bigger ticket items. So we had Coffeyville Regional Medical Center, $93,502.61 as our sales tax distribution. We have Flock Group for our agreement with them for $14,250. We have Hawkins Incorporated for chemicals in the amount of $21,888.58. Neal Hotels, that's another sales tax distribution for $5,145.23. Telex for $31,340.95. And then we had, well, a payroll distribution of $502,043.86.
And then I had a question for Wartsila. I know that's the engines at the generation plant, for spark plug and spare part kit in the amount of about $16,000. What do we have to buy for that? It was a purchase from Wartzilla for engine parts.
It's probably the spark plugs and spare part kits.
Okay.
Is that what?
Yeah.
Yep,
What
that's-
does the spare part kits entail?
It's their boots and springs and everything. They're part of the spark plug.
Okay.
So the spark plug goes down. I mean, it's a big old long tube, and on that it has rubber gaskets or springs and everything. That it's all part of the spark
Okay.
plug.
It was just for one cylinder or
Oh, no,
more
no,
than
no,
one?
that's-
For all of them?
Yes.
On 3 engines?
Yes.
Or- okay.
Yes.
All right.
No, no, they're not little.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
I know. All right, thanks, Tony. Any other questions, comments? I'll move to approve.
Second.
Motion is made by Mayor Hendricks, seconded by Vice Mayor Faulkner to approve items 1 and 2 of the consent agenda as presented. Commissioner Van Oster.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Faulkner.
Aye.
Commissioner Maples.
Aye.
Commissioner Edwards. Mayor Hendricks.
Aye. All right, next up is comments from the public. Do we have any public that would like to make comments? Oh, then I gotta say it. Okay. Any citizen desiring to address the commission shall be recognized, advance to the podium, state his or her name and address for the record, and comments shall be limited to 3 minutes unless extended by a vote of the majority of the commission. Sir.
My name is Juan Wilson. I live at 119 West Polk Street, Coffeyville, Kansas. I came to ask for more or less direction, more so than a comment. And it's a situation where it was a property sale to the city, and it's been going on 2 years now. And I guess the city lawyer had been fired, and it's been over here. Was that him? Yeah, that's him right there.
He's back.
Well, anyway, he's back. That's a good thing. And I was very concerned because I hadn't heard from him in going on 2 years. And I was looking for more or less direction because he never returned my calls. I would go by the scene, but he was just hard to catch up with. So it's been going on 2 years now. I've had death in my family. I'm not in the best of condition myself, but things change. But the thing that didn't change was my situation as far as selling the property to the city.
Oh.
And I was trying to close all this up,
Yeah.
but it's going on 2 years now,
Okay.
and nobody said anything.
Well, we'll say something now. So, do you know what's this pertaining to?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
He has a lot that I think was going to be useful for the electric utility. So we had conversations and actually came to an agreement about price. We did some title work. There were some title issues that were uncovered during that process. Those title issues have not yet been resolved. So that's kind of where things stand at this point. I will admit my communication with Mr. Wilson, who's been very patient, has been hit and miss at best. It was, I guess, on the priority list, it probably wasn't at the top. So anyway, and then when my separation from the city occurred, things kind of got put on the shelf for a while as well. So I'm happy to resume those efforts. I do think that there was an issue that may or may not be resolved with one of the heirs because I think Mr. Wilson's parents owned that lot.
Yes.
Yes. So they are deceased, and so that there's some work that has to be done in order to get clear title to the property that has not yet been done.
Okay, so
So
question,
is-
do we want to keep moving forward with it?
So are all of these issues, are they Mr. Wilson's responsibility to clear up?
Oh, I
Or
mean,
can
Mr.
we
Wilson.
assist?
Yeah, he's been very helpful in providing information. There was a sister in Kansas City, I believe, or a daughter in Kansas City, and somebody was under a guardianship. It got rather involved for a $2,500 transaction. Then there was another lot that was adjacent to it that the city was interested in at one time, and we discovered that there were some major title issues with it. So I think the city ended up maybe purchasing that one at the tax sale. Because
Okay.
the taxes weren't paid.
Well, let's do what we can.
Well, looks
I
like
mean,
it's
I'm
going
fine
to
doing
get back
what
on
we-
track.
Could
Yeah.
you let me know what what the situation is? I haven't heard from you in close to, I know it's been over a year.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah.
I would agree.
Yeah, so,
Contact information the same?
yes, mine is, yes. But I just appreciate you
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
very much.
He may call you on, what, Thursday or?
Well, I don't do Thursday hours over here anymore.
Okay,
but
all right.
That's okay. I'll call you by next week, Juan. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
all right, I appreciate you.
Yeah,
Thank you
that's
so much.
fine. I know I have your number, but do you mind giving it to me just in case?
Yes, sir. It's 620 870-9049.
Very good.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Mr.
Thank
Wilson.
you.
Any other public comment? All right, Daria.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Daria Gerald, 2996 West Northbrook. I wanted to come by to introduce myself to you and to the community. My name is Mrs. Gerald, that's how I'll be known, and I am the principal at Holy Name Catholic School. I wanted to let everybody know that we still have some room in each of the grades and for the upcoming school year, and we serve grades kindergarten through 6. And I wanted to share just a few quick facts about Catholic schools and Catholic education. Did you know that children of all religions are welcome at Catholic school? And you do not have to convert over to be a Catholic to attend, because we believe in Catholic education, not Catholic indoctrination. We do focus on the teachings of Jesus Christ while lifting up each child to their full academic potential. If you are an active member of the Catholic Church and participating, the Diocese of Wichita, that's kind of our umbrella, pledges that your child's education will be taken care of. If you are not a member of the Catholic Church, the tuition is very affordable and there is financial aid available if needed. We're having an open enrollment open house coming up the week of June 24th to the 28th. The school will be open to receive parents and prospective students from 10 a.m. to noon and from 5 to 7 each day that week. And I just wanted to thank you for your time.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Here's a flyer for whatever you might want to do with it. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, any other public comments? Okay, thank you, everyone. Moving on to the next thing, and it's a public hearing to consider a CDBG grant application from the Kansas Department of Commerce, and Director of Public Service, Bobby Joe Pash, will make comments.
Mayor, Commissioners.
Good evening.
It's basically, it's a CDBG grant in the amount of $800,000 for improvements at LeClaire Park. That $800,000, there's a match of $457,099, $197,783.15 will come from the ARPA fund, $259,316.09 will come from the half-cent sales tax for the park upgrades. Now, in total, there's currently 6 tennis courts there. They will be completely rebuilt, post-tension, concrete, new fence, new nets. 2 of those courts will be included with pickleball, so 6 total courts, but 2 are either or. There's also going to be stadium seating with shade, 3 new playground areas, 1 of which will be completely ADA compliant, trail repairs, lighting repairs, 3 extra shelters will be added, multiple benches will be added. There's also going to be 15 fitness areas, 4 of those will be ADA compliant as well. And that's the hopes.
All right,
Any other
thank you.
questions?
Question.
Yes, sir.
Currently, there's one water fountain that doesn't work. Can you make sure we've addressed that?
We can probably add that to the list, yes.
Thank you.
Question for you or anyone else. What does it look like the chances are on this grant? Any indication?
Amber, you're going to have the answer to that. Last time it was pushed to October?
Yeah, this was supposed to be submitted several months ago, but then they pushed it back. And I called the administrator of the grant and voiced my disappointment that we were all ready. Amber did a great job preparing the grant, and they profusely apologized. Other cities weren't ready, so they pushed the date back to give other cities more time. So I essentially put them on notice, hey, we were ready. We should, we expect to be strongly considered, so I'm
So in
hoping
this
good.
grant funding, is one city chosen, or is there going to be several
There's multiple.
to spread it out?
There's multiple.
Okay.
And you feel reasonably good about this, right? Yeah. I mean, it's a well-written grant.
Okay, thank you.
And we check off all
And
the
it's all
boxes.
encompassing as far as sports, ADA,
Yeah.
covers the whole gambit.
Hits all the check marks.
And I have communicated with the park board. They're aware of that a portion of this is coming out of the LeClaire Park improvement, and they're very much on board.
Okay.
Where does that push? Leclerc is supposed to be technically done what year was that?
I don't remember the original.
Even with the 10-year plan that was in place, that was also with the mind, if we wanted to take number 8 and make it number 2,
Yeah.
we could. It,
Okay.
so
I didn't
they're-
know.
they're
Some
inter-
of those
They're
things-
interchangeable. Now, the bigger
Okay.
parks, granted, you need to save up a little bit to get there,
Mm-hmm.
but it shouldn't be a problem.
Okay. Just because that's how it was presented to the
Right,
public,
right.
and I would hate to
But I am
You know,
pretty
not-
sure at some
hate
point in
to-
time,
change that
Right,
and
I'm-
mess it
I'm-
all
I'm
around.
pr-
Not, this is a good thing.
Right.
But, because then if we go and ever have something else we want to bring up,
right,
you
right.
know, we don't want to
Yeah,
lose the
yeah,
confidence
I
of our
think when you
people.
put any 10-year plan together, it has to be a living, breathing document
Yeah.
that can be adjusted as the times require. 10 years is too long, and you have to have a living, breathing document.
Yeah,
And I
right.
think as we present a 10-year plan, we should always say that. Because something's always going to come up, and this grant is a good example of 800,000 that could be available
Yeah.
to significantly upgrade our parks, so,
Sooner rather than later on Leclerc.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anything else? Okay, I'll open the public hearing to receive comments regarding this CDBG grant application. So that the grant's already been submitted and is being considered now from the Kansas Department of Commerce. And we're just asking for public comments. All right, if there are none, I will now close this public hearing. And we will move to Resolution R-24-39, a resolution certifying legal authority to apply for the 2024 Kansas Small Cities Community Development Block Grant from the Kansas Department of Commerce and authorizing the mayor to sign and submit such application.
I'll make a motion to move to approve Resolution R-24-39 as presented.
Second?
Motion's made by Commissioner Van Oster, seconded by Vice Mayor Faulkner to approve Resolution R-24-39 as presented. Vice Mayor Faulkner.
Aye.
Commissioner Maples.
Aye.
Commissioner Edwards.
Aye.
Mayor Hendricks.
Aye.
Commissioner Van Oster.
Aye.
Next up, a resolution R-24-40, a resolution assuring the Kansas Department of Commerce that funds will be continually provided for the operation and maintenance of improvements to Leclerc Park to be financed with Community Development Block Grant funds.
And they are incorporated in with the rest of the park's management, half-cent sales tax.
We will maintain what
Yes.
is built. All right. I'll move to approve.
Second?
Motion is made by Mayor Hendricks, seconded by Commissioner Edwards to approve Resolution R-24-40 as presented. Commissioner Maples.
Aye.
Commissioner Edwards.
Aye.
Mayor Hendricks.
Aye.
Commissioner Van Oster.
Aye.
And Vice Mayor Faulkner.
Aye.
Moving on to old business, second reading of an ordinance S-24-02, an ordinance to allow alcohol to be served in the area known as Union Pacific Park, the adjacent streets and alleyways during the Coffeyville Area Chamber of Commerce Hops Around Town Beer Festival event.
I will move to approve our second reading of ordinance S-24-02 as presented. I'll second.
Motion is made by Commissioner Van Oster, seconded by Commissioner Maples to approve the second reading of Ordinance S-24-02 as presented. Commissioner Edwards.
Aye.
Mayor Hendricks.
Aye.
Commissioner Van Oster.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Faulkner.
Aye.
Commissioner Maples.
Aye.
On to new business. Discussion and action to accept and approve the Kansas Corporation Commission Energy and Efficiency and Conservation Block Grant Agreement in the amount of $609,596.07. Superintendent of Electric Distribution, Steve Pratt, will make comments and answer any questions.
Mayor, Commissioners,
Good evening.
I'm actually excited to be here tonight to be a part of this and share this. I could possibly be wrong, but I think it's the first grant that the electric department has went after. So first, I would like to thank Tim, interim city manager, for hiring a grant writer that has helped us with this. For the city of Coffeyville, Amber Dean, who has worked with us very hard at Electric to complete this goal, and may I say, in a very quick, short time. And I also want to give thanks to Amy Taylor and Melissa Allen, who created maps with admin work to get this possible from basically April until now we're in June. This basically details 381 streetlights. The City of Coffeyville's been working, changing out to LED lights from high-pressure sodium for a while. We could just do so many a year. So these lights are going to be from basically on South Walnut from 11th Street to Sewer Treatment Road, from Walmart to 5300 to 8th Street, all the way to the far west end of town. A lot of the downtown lights are going to be changed. This also includes all the wire, the triplex overhead conductor that has been eaten up by trees and different things. It also includes the wire that goes from the pole through the arm to the light, and then of course all these lights. So just to kind of share a little bit of an idea about, Amber had given me this, I had already kind of made my old-fashioned copy, but these lights being LED use a small amount of energy compared to what the lights were there. And just the 5 lights that we're going to be installing, we have different ones that are on roadway, residential roads, rental lights. We're going to save $22,292 in electric usage for 1 year. So we have looked at these, and we believe that with these lights, even when we were purchasing them, that in a 3-year period of time, you could save the amount of money and pay for the lights that were there. So it's been a good project. Just very grateful to be a part of it, and the staff recommends that you accept the approval of this grant, and if you have any questions, I'd like to answer them.
There is no match on this grant, by the way.
Yes,
so.
that's correct.
Okay. You may not know this, but this is for 381 lights. How many does the city have, approximately? I'm just trying to
I
get in
can't
my
give
head
you a-
about how much that covers.
Well, this is going to cover all of our street lighting circuits.
Okay.
And by circuits is on the main thoroughfares. You have thousands of lights
Yeah,
within Coffeyville.
this will cover the main streets. Perfect.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay.
Our grant writer just
Sounds
paid for
like
herself
Yes.
Thank you.
for
Yeah.
years. That was a good grant. Thank you.
Wonderful.
We
So-
appreciate it.
My question, I'm not afraid to be asked the picky question, but have these already been spec'd out, which ones you're buying? And
Yeah.
what color are the lights?
Well, we have gray that are on.
No, I mean,
He
the
means
color of the
color
light.
rendition.
Well, we went through this process, and a lot of people don't understand with streetlights that we had a company who came through, and we would put lights up. If we didn't like them, we'd take them down. The old high-pressure sodium lights were different colors. Some of them were bright orange. These are kind of a brighter white light, like what you see here, and they all put out different amounts of light patterns. So that's what a roadway light does. It puts it out over 50 feet or whatever it is. So we wanted to make sure that with this, and I think all of our lights that we have chosen were all made in the USA. We had one light that wasn't, and we've chose to go back to the company, and they're coming here next week to actually create a light from one that we have that will work for this purpose. So we didn't want to get into letting people kind of picking what light they wanted to put in, because in the future, we'll have to replace some of these possibly, so.
Well, I only asked that question because I've been to some other cities where some of the street lights were a bright white blinding light where it seemed like they may cause more wrecks than they're trying to help. You drive up to it and you can't hardly see, and make sure that that's not the case.
No. And they are better than the purple ones you see in Independence.
And Steve, these will provide more light coverage
Yes.
as well, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you can take like these particular lights on like on 11th Street is what I call a 250 watt Cobra head. That was high pressure sodium, and those used, let's see here. They use 250 watts, and to go to a LED, that same light with the same amount of light, it uses 94 watts. So, we're going from 30.5 cents a day to 11 cents. It cuts it, then you multiply it times 360, 12 hours a day, and you come up with how much wattage you use, so.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Move to accept and approve the Kansas Corporation Commission Energy and Efficiency and Conservation Block Grant Agreement as presented.
I'll second.
Motion is made by Commissioner Edwards, seconded by Commissioner Van Oster to accept and approve the Kansas Corporation Commission Energy and Efficiency and Conservation Block Grant Agreement as presented. Mayor Hendricks.
Aye.
Commissioner Van Oster.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Faulkner.
Aye.
Commissioner Maples.
Aye.
Commissioner Edwards.
Aye.
All right, next up, Resolution R-24-41, a resolution to authorize the purchase of a new bulk water dispensing station package for the Water Services Department. Director of Water Services, Steve Smith.
Good evening, Mayor.
Good evening.
Commissioners. Tonight I'm presenting to you what I think is a need for the city. The city has historically made bulk water available through fire hydrant meters. With that, the customers would have to either have an account or set up an account, pay a deposit of $325, a $50 setup fee, a $50 breakdown fee when they get done, and then the cost of the water itself. We only have 5 3-inch fire hydrant meters in stock and 2 1-inch. The fire hydrant meters are about $5,000 each. So once those are all out like they are right now, we have to turn customers away. Last year, we had lots and lots of calls for bulk water with the drought going on, especially our area farmers for their livestock. And we had to turn them away. I believe that the cost of this will pay for itself within a 5-year to 10-year period at the worst, just depending on the amount of sales we do. There's just nothing to base what the true amount of sales will be at this time. I did some research, called some other cities, but there's really no one comparable to our situation here. But I also think it would be a great service to our community and our area. Here, Independence doesn't have one. As far as I know, Parsons doesn't have one. The City of Edna has a small one there, but most people don't know that, and it's a small town over there, and she said that it's kind of hit and miss with them because no one just knows about them. Staff is recommending that the mayor be authorized to direct the finance director to issue a purchase order to Elamec Electrical and Mechanical Engineering Services in the amount of $66,505 for the purchase of one new FS63 bulk water dispensing station package with a 3-inch top filler loader arm credit card reader, compact thermal printer, and cloud-hosted software IT support. And I will answer any questions you folks might have.
You know, one point I'd make is that there's a demand for this, and so it's a benefit to the citizens of Coffeyville, and it will be a revenue producer. I mean, we're selling water at a rate where it will produce revenue. And it's modernizing something that we're just unbelievably outdated. So it's getting us up to where we should be as a city.
So,
Okay.
question, just a few questions. Do we have a price per 1,000 gallons? And do we sell in 1,000-gallon lots, or is it just however many?
We'll sell however many gallons that they want, but the price is set, which we set
Okay.
here last commission meeting at $10 per 1,000 gallons.
Okay, next question. Does this machine take credit card only, or credit card and cash? Or
No,
credit debit?
we're not going to do the cash because you have
Okay.
a lot of problems with that. You can set, either have, the way this system is, you can set up an account with the city, and you'll get a code if you're a frequent user, and then it will bill you just like it would
Okay.
a residential, or you can use your credit card.
I just asked because I think I remember the bulk water dispensing station a long time ago used to take quarters.
Right, and they had a lot of problems with that. Now,
It did.
and now you.
Must have been a while.
Yeah.
Some of them told me that the problem is now is you get Canadian money in there and it jams the machines up.
Ugh.
Yeah.
So, and I've turned away quite a few people. I know Thomas has gotten quite a few calls down in engineering. And some people don't want us, because it costs a lot of money just to set this up. And if you're just getting a couple thousand gallons, it's not worth it to you.
Right. Right.
Yep.
So,
All right.
And you realistically believe within 5 years it'll pay for itself?
I
'Cause
really
I
do.
think you're right on that.
I really do. That
Well,
would
I
be.
think
Yeah.
service
That-
is good to
Yeah.
have.
You know, and you know, it's gonna cost a little bit more than this, you know, with your setup and stuff of the
Yeah.
site.
Oh, yeah.
But you're talking about 1.3 million gallons per year in sales to break even in 5 years. And I think that's realistic in bulk water.
Yes.
So what's the life expectancy of the unit?
I talked to the company. These particular units, they started making in 2003, and they're still, the ones that they sold back then are still in service. I know, like, the unit we used to have, we sold to South Coffeyville, we sold to Nowata County. They're still utilizing it, and it's probably about 40 or 50 years old. Edna says theirs is about 40 or 50 years old. So you do have maintenance on them, upkeep. You know, parts will break down on them. Credit card readers will have to be updated, you know, but
And is there?
the station itself does last a
I
very
didn't
long
see,
time.
I didn't actually read it in the documentation here. What's the warranty on the unit itself?
That, I'm not 100% sure. It's
You know,
not very
worst case
long.
scenario, you know, if something breaks,
In the first year, yeah.
is it first
Right,
year?
I think it's a 1 or 2 year warranty is all it is.
It is in here somewhere,
Yeah.
I think
1
Mayor
year.
Hendricks
Well,
said year.
the software supports a 1 year warranty. Yeah, parts warranty 1 year.
1 year. Okay, thank
Yes,
you.
Okay.
I understand there's a couple of sites under consideration for locating this. Where are they?
One is at 8th and Sunflower, and then one's out at Walter Johnson Park. 8th and Sunflower, which would be on the southwest corner. That's over there by where that bar and stuff used to sit
Yeah.
over there. Because I thought that would be a good
What do
place
we-
for them to be able to pull in.
That one will require some negotiation, so.
Where are we leaning, do you think?
Well, right now, we're leaning out at the park till,
Till you
Because
get,
we own that.
yeah, because we already own that, so.
That makes
The
sense.
other one,
And then we're also, Thomas and I is also kind of looking possibly, maybe at some other sites.
okay.
Okay.
Will there be
Sounds great.
any, since it'll be out there, at the if you're considering the park as a primary site, will there be any kind of security cameras or anything installed?
And that's something I've thought about, and that's a Chris question, about as far as getting those installed, but we already got cameras out in the park, so I don't think that would be much of a problem to get, you know, cameras on it installed.
Okay.
All right.
So, and another good thing about just doing the credit card only is that takes away some of the temptation to break into the machine because there's no cash to take.
Right.
Make sure there's a sign on it that says credit card only, no cash.
Yeah, right. So, any more questions?
No?
That's it.
I will move to approve Resolution R-24-41 as presented.
I'll sec,
Go ahead.
I'll second.
Motion's made by Commissioner Van Osser, seconded by Vice Mayor Faulkner to approve Resolution R-24-41 as presented. Commissioner Van Osser.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Faulkner.
Aye.
Commissioner Maples.
Aye.
Commissioner Edwards.
Aye.
Mayor Hendricks.
Aye. Next up, Resolution R-24-42, a resolution to authorize a purchase order to Siemens Industry Incorporated to provide an upgrade to the SCADA system for the electric utility. Superintendent of Electric Generation, Tony Lawson, will make comments and answer any questions.
Mayor, Commissioners.
Good evening.
The SCADA system, that's our supervisory control data acquisition system for all of our distribution and transmission assets at all of our substations. It's the brains behind everything, all the communications from all the subs. This system gives our operators command and control and function of all these assets. The last time this was upgraded, I believe, was about 2012. And since that time, the operating system has probably changed who knows how many times, several. I think if I remember right, it was probably XP based. So
Oh, goodness.
the current system is outdated. It's an outdated operating system that is obsolete with no upgrade support. Also, the current system has its limitations on data communication, controllability between our station controllers at each of our subs. We've been having issues with data communications and controls at times. The RTUs, the remote communication failure, alarm communication failure, slowing control functions, unreliable data for several years now. The upgraded system that we're looking at, this is a Siemens, so this is Siemens based. So the upgraded SCADA system improves the current industry standards, security standards, compliance, also improves operability between vendors. That's something new. The current systems that are out there, if you that's all you could do. It's like Apple and all these. They've got it now set up to where it can take possibly third-party vendors' equipment. Older systems like ours just aren't upgradable anymore. So as we upgrade our substation hardware, which we've had a couple subs that we're needing to upgrade, the new hardware and software is not compatible with our current system, with the logic controls and stuff. So we need a system that will communicate with the newer protocols. It'll improve reliability, speed, and control. HMI allows the operators to detect, diagnose, and respond quicker. It improves mobile support. It improves compatibility with technology upgrades. It will allow us to upgrade to the new hardware and controllers in our subs. The other part of this is the 2-year service and support. It includes the SCADA dual host license. It includes the console license and the data warehouse license for storage it's needed. It also includes the project management for this project. So Siemens will have to build this approximately 6 months is what it'll take to get this system up and going, and then tie into ours, and then train, part of its training and all that. So the new hardware and the software for our new systems, like I said, it's for our new B-sub, the project that's going there. This will need updated to do that project. Staff recommends the mayor authorize the issuance of a purchase order to Siemens Industry Incorporated for $212,000 $800. Of course, any change orders that will be needed would be brought to the commission.
Now, this was a $250,000 budget item that was put in '24
Yes.
budget, so we came in below budget, but
Okay.
it was needed.
All right.
Sounds like.
Yes, we started planning
are-
for this several years ago.
We are past due.
It is
Yes.
past due,
Yeah, that's
Doing
old.
what we need to be doing.
yes.
And we'll make it better with all these and then the new features. that you
Yes, as it
mentioned,
is
too.
now, any upgrades for the hardware and software.
You don't.
Our old system, the protocols won't match up.
Match them. Okay, yeah.
Okay, I have two questions for you. Excuse me. One of them, I think you referred to earlier, was a nitpicky kind of question, but I notice on page 3 of the contract, we're paying $12,700 for 32 hours of remote training. So that breaks down to $396 an hour. How many people will be getting this training?
We're probably looking at 4 to 5, possibly. Our two INC people will need to be involved with it. Maybe 1 or 2 from over in Steve's department and any of our IT department.
Okay, well, given that level of expense, I would encourage you to make sure that everybody is there, so we don't miss anyone. Second question is, and this is becoming more and more an issue, probably just for the city as well. Is there any ransomware vulnerability with this system? Could someone hack in and shut down the system through the internet, through an email? Do we have any protection in place to keep that from happening?
The system the new upgrade, this system upgrade takes into account all the security SIP protocols that are out there. So if there's any new patches or anything like that, that's part of that 2-year agreement also, is anything new that comes along.
So we're protected?
Yes.
Thank you.
Best we can be.
Thank you.
All right, I have a question. I was looking through the specs, and only because I know about some of these things, but you were talking about the last time we bought this was 2012, so we're talking 12 years ago.
Yes.
And I noticed in the specs for the workstations that are HP Z2 Mini G9s, which I actually know about or are familiar with, they, down there on the last item, and we just talked about this, you said you have things that are out of date, software that's out of date. This is it says Windows 10. Windows 11 came out 4 years ago. Windows 10 is going to be outdated in these next 12 years. I want to know why Siemens is quoting us an expensive system like this with old Windows software that's already old.
I will inquire.
And the HP Z2 G9, according on HP's website, comes standard with Windows 11, which is the newest thing that will be supported for the next 12 years. I think Microsoft may cut off support of Windows 10 in the next 5 years. So why would they give us that?
I can't.
Okay.
I'll ask that question.
To be honest, I don't want to approve this until they either put Windows 11 on all these machines for you all. That's going to be supported by Microsoft going forward for the next 12 years, or they explain why they're putting an old Windows OS on there.
Okay.
So I don't know how we want to do that.
just wanna
I just
table
want
it.
to make
Just
sure.
I think
Table
we
it.
just table
Table
it
it
till he
till
comes
next time.
back, and then find out. Yeah, we should have probably
I don't
done
want that to be a
before.
problem in 5 years.
Yeah, it's good reason. I'll find out.
Okay.
You want me to make a motion?
I did.
I'll move the table.
She did.
I did.
she already
I did.
Second.
Oh, sorry. I didn't hear it.
Okay, so Commissioner Van Oster moved to table. I'm sorry, who was the second?
Second.
Okay, motion's made by Commissioner Van Oster, second by Mayor Hendricks to table Resolution R-24-42. Vice Mayor Faulkner.
Aye.
Commissioner Maples.
Aye.
Commissioner Edwards.
Aye.
Mayor Hendricks.
Aye.
Commissioner Van Oster.
Aye.
We will approve this just till we get more information on that detail. I just didn't want it to become a problem later. All right, next up, is Resolution R-24-43, a resolution adopting the Kansas Homeland Security Region H Hazard Mitigation Plan. Director of Public Works Thomas Osborne will make comments and answer questions.
Good evening, Mayor Commissioners.
Good evening.
So every 5 years, the state of Kansas goes through the process of creating regional hazard mitigation plans. This goes for any hazard. You got tornadoes, fires, windstorms, dust storms, droughts included. So these plans have been regionalized. Part of these plans are also what enables us to receive funds in the event of a disaster. Hopefully none of them are happening anytime soon or at all, but they enables us to be able to receive funds from FEMA. This is also, we get points for the community rating systems through this national or the regional hazard mitigation plan. And that is the system that gets the flood insurance discount for the citizens of Coffeyville. There is no anything as far as money expenditures requirement in any of these. This is projects that are recommended. As we're moving forward, we can look in. There is a section that is Coffeyville specific for projects. There's some from the levy. There's emergency generation for schools, emergency generations for clinics within the community, hospital. There's all these different things, and it's largely based. There's some of those recommendations come from the city, and some of those are through the third-party engineers that the state has put together for that region. They come in and they look at both the past plan, and then they kind of do a reval for the whole city. So I'd be glad to try to answer any questions. Again, this is needed to be able to receive funds from FEMA in the event of a disaster, as well as for any of the mitigation grants for pre-disaster mitigations as well as the CRS system.
Who represented Coffeyville at this meeting? Was it Tim, the city manager?
Largely, I was the one that attended the meetings for this. We're also represented by the Montgomery County Emergency Management.
So what discussions were held about EMP attacks on electric grids? Because I saw nothing in that 600 pages that mentioned that at all.
Yeah, I don't remember anything being brought up on any of those.
To me, that's a glaring exception, or not exception. It's not in there anywhere. There's 600 pages, and there's all kinds of information about, population trends and floods and natural disasters. And I have people I went to college with 30 years ago that are working in Washington, D.C., and they're worried about EMP attacks. And what happens if we have an EMP attack over the, it could be a naturally occurring EMP event or a terrorist attack, and there's nothing in 600 pages that I saw that addressed that. Do we even know, do we know ourselves what an EMP attack would do to our electric grid here in Coffeyville?
I don't know if any of our guys would know or not. What type
There
of
is we have a company here in southeast Kansas, I want to say it's in Chanute, that produces EMP protection equipment for all levels, all the way from personal home devices up to and including major industry. And it's the sort of thing that if the lightning hits, in the way the system works, if a lightning hits a pole, the system will detect it and shut the system off before it even gets to the house. I mean, it's that fast.
I think this is something that we need to, clearly we need to approve this tonight. But I think that we need to be kind of, over the next 3 years, looking into this internally and trying to educate ourselves if we need to. And I certainly need to be educated on it by our electric department folks. But when they meet again in 3 years, this is something that I would think would need to be brought up. I would think that ourselves being a generator of electricity in the city of Chanute would also be concerned about something like this, because the last thing I want to do is be sitting here with a brand new power plant sitting out there and not be able to generate electricity, and people think this can't happen. Well, there are a lot of nations around the world and terrorist organizations that would love to take this country down, and really the easiest way to do it would just be to detonate a nuclear weapon high above the country somewhere, and you've got no electricity.
Well, the geothermal storm that we had recently.
And that's a naturally occurring possibility.
I don't know if there's a lot you can do.
So question, is this being discussed with KMEA or Southwest Power Pool? Are these topics discussed in any of their meetings? Do we know?
Not to my knowledge. It came up in a conversation last week with the
Yeah.
client.
Something to ask.
About 2 months ago, I actually went up and toured that facility. I don't recall the county. It's the county that has Wolf Creek,
Up at Burlington.
Coffee County.
there you go,
Yeah,
Coffee County.
yeah.
We actually got a tour of the facility. It's fascinating. They cannot build them fast enough for the demand.
Yeah.
The state, the emergency management teams throughout the state are really watching them. The state is starting to do some contracts with them. I'm happy to get with Rick and talk about that specifically.
So you are familiar with them then?
Yeah, I'm very familiar with those. Great product. Like you said, you can put them in your residential home as well. And it actually, you put it within the breaker panel and the box is what destroys versus your home. And so they even showed us how it worked up there in their facility. But, Tim's point is our whole country is not really prepared for that. Just the time it takes to go and replace or to order new transformers in itself and
Yeah.
the lack of
The,
inventory our country has.
For instance, the generators, we have the generators that we have out at the new power, I call it the new power plant, 10 years ago, out at the industrial park. One of those are only made in Germany, and they have to be, there's about a 2-year lead time to replace them.
I'll visit with Rick just to see what he has on his channels but my understanding is we're just not prepared. And that company itself is one of very few that have both federal and state contracts here and are trying to get that word out. But I think most municipalities are just kind of at a loss of what do we do.
Well, let's
Great point, though.
at least get some basic information so we can be ahead of the problem.
So I think we want to
Go ahead and
approve this resolution and then have
Yeah.
a lot more further discussion in the next
Right.
year or
Yes.
so.
Yep.
Move
All
to
right.
approve resolution R-2443 as presented.
Second?
Thank you, Thomas.
Motion is made by Commissioner Edwards, seconded by Vice Mayor Faulkner to approve Resolution R-24-43 as presented. Commissioner Maples.
Aye.
Commissioner Edwards. Mayor Hendricks.
Aye.
Commissioner Van Oster.
Aye.
And Vice Mayor Faulkner.
Aye.
All right, next up is Resolution R-24-44, resolution to enter into a engineering services agreement with BG Consultants for professional engineering services for the 2024 to 2025 street improvement project. Thomas.
Thank you again, Mayor Commissioners. This, of course, is to procure engineering services for this project and this grant application. This is up to $25 million in street transportation, which, of course, it doesn't go as far as someone would think. So we are looking at how many was it? Three streets, or I think it was 3 streets. First Street, 4th Street, Sycamore, and then Sunflower itself. Those streets, of course, they're over on the east side, are very rough, very, very much heavily traveled by trucks going in and out of the refinery, hauling fuel, nitrogen fertilizers, all that type of stuff that's going in and out of there. They've done a lot to damage the roads, and a lot of those roads are actually old county roads that have just been paved with asphalt. So there's not a base there to them, and anything, especially on Sunflower there, if you travel it, the road is narrowing as we speak because it's just, nothing will stay. That amount of truck traffic, nothing will stay. It's past time to fully rebuild. The unfortunate thing, to rebuild that street, you have to pretty much push all that traffic onto other streets which were in no way, shape, or form designed. So you not only have to fix the street that needs fixed to get them to the plant, but you also need to fix those streets that you detoured off onto. So of course this project overall would be designed, but you'd phase it to where you would fix that main street off of 4th Street and Sunflower, fix those by diverting onto 4th Street and up Sycamore and back onto 1st Street and then you would go back and fix those afterwards. I'd be happy to try to answer any questions. This is a federal, can't remember the, where's it at? It's a federal
Okay.
grant that's not, it's
Okay,
part
I
of
have
the.
a couple of questions. Looking at the map that you provided.
Yes.
The Fourth Street work stops at Howard. Why does that not go all the way out to Northeast? Because
All of that was built
that's all
brand
torn
new.
up.
It's already new concrete.
All that's new concrete from 2014.
Okay, so
In very good shape.
Howard is where the concrete
Howard
starts?
is where we unfortunately got forced to stop. We tried to keep going, so we were
Okay,
surprised to get to Howard.
so that'll take care of that, okay? Sunflower going north, it starts on 8th Street. Why does it not start on 11th? Because I think
That traffic
several
through
years
there,
ago.
we don't want to, I would like to discourage as much as possible any traffic turning off of the highway. It is a dangerous spot, and we've tried to fix it a couple of times, but have not been able to get the funds to change it.
So that was a project from 10 years ago that was dropped?
Let's see, that one would have been six years ago?
6 years, okay.
6
All
or
right.
7-ish, yeah.
Okay.
We can
It's
always
a-
try
it's
for
a
it again,
bad
but it's
corner.
it's
Blinds
yeah.
both ways,
Yeah.
entering and
Yeah,
leaving.
stay
I
away
did
from it
see,
as much as
I did
possible.
see a tanker, eastbound on 11th, turning off onto Sunflower about a week ago. And I see what you mean now,
We would
because.
much prefer them, I don't even think that section of street is actually dedicated as truck route, because we don't want trucks
No.
on that side. It's not a good location to turn, it's not a safe location, blind from both directions.
So, question, these are professional engineering services?
Yes.
Regardless if we get the grant or not?
That is correct.
So, if we don't get the grant, is it just, we'll use that information for, or we already know
We can
what-
use that information for future grants, we can potentially use that information for other types of grants. This is just the preliminary engineering report.
Okay, so how long will any grant group that would give the grants, how long would this information be good to them? Up to 4 years or 3 or?
Yeah, 3 years.
Okay.
And what's the surface, what's the material be used, especially on that stretch?
It'll go back
Fourth
concrete.
Street going, 4th Street from Sunflower going east, is that going to be asphalt or concrete?
Everything
Better
should
be
be going back
concrete.
concrete.
Yeah,
For the amount of
Yeah.
truck traffic that we're talking,
There's no
everything
option.
should
The
be going back
trucks,
concrete.
the heavy trucks have torn up that asphalt.
Better be
Yes.
concrete.
But, you know,
Okay.
we're risking
If not, we'll-
17.9, but
if not,
have
we'll-
have the ability to maybe get 25 million, so.
Sure.
Yeah, and listen, we're not gonna fix these roads with sales tax. They just don't generate enough. You gotta go through the grant process.
fast enough.
Let's make sure that section is concrete.
It's all concrete.
It's all
The whole thing should be
Yeah, it's all
concrete.
concrete.
All right.
Come on, James.
Yeah, we'll talk about funding this budget year, so.
I
all
will
right.
move to approve Resolution R-24-44 as presented.
I'll second.
Motion is made by Commissioner Van Oster, seconded by Commissioner Maples to approve Resolution R-24-44 as presented. Commissioner Edwards.
Aye.
Mayor Hendricks.
Aye.
Commissioner Van Oster.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Faulkner.
Aye.
Commissioner Maples.
Aye.
Thank you, good job.
Thank you, Thomas. And thank you, Amber, for working on all the grants. Very much appreciate.
Yes, thank you for that.
You're doing a fantastic job.
All right, next up is the city manager's report.
So I thought I'd give you just a quick update. I spent 2 days in Brewerton, Alabama on the Provalis trip, and there were a couple other economic development people and city managers of other cities are looking at, one in Kentucky and one in Georgia. And, you know, we got to see what they've done in Brewerton. And Brewerton's a town of about 6,600, smaller than Coffeyville. They showed us, you know, the downtown prior to Provalis coming in and then afterwards. And it really turned a pretty beaten down downtown into a thriving downtown. So, you know, I like them as a partner before going out there, but I think they're even a much better fit. Average wage is $22 an hour. 10% of them are senior managers, and they're closer to the six-figure number. And they bring about 250 people to Coffeyville. You know, Jay Williams and I spent 2 hours with them on a finance call on putting the deal together, and you know, they had a meeting of the mind. So I talked to Jay, and Ben was on the call because I wanted to introduce Ben. And Jay's ready to move forward. He's even saying, hey, let's start getting the thing ready, do some elevator inspections, and let's, with or without Provalis, with or without the grant, I want to fix the building up. You know, we've taken a number of people through it. Everybody's in absolute agreement that is the right building. So the CEO of Provalis and Jay are coming into town, Jay Mitchell coming into town mid-July. So we're setting that meeting tomorrow. And I intend to have a letter of intent done by mid-July and start contract shortly thereafter. So I think it's you know, we need to spark downtown. I think this is it, and we need to put everything into it that we can to get this thing over the finish line. So because I think we have all the right parties involved. So.
And a reminder for the folks at home, what kind of company is that? What do they do?
They're really heavily focused on cybersecurity. The majority of their clients are all Fortune 500, Chick-fil-A, Estee Lauder, Calvin Klein. I got to watch their employees interact representing those businesses. I mean, they're impressive. You know, a small portion of it is IT support. A bigger portion is cybersecurity, which is growing like crazy. And their model is built on bringing back all the outsourcing that was done by major Fortune 500 companies. Fortune 500 companies saw the risk associated with outsourcing through COVID, and they're bringing it back on shore. So it's a great model, and we've got I think a really good owner that is very vested in getting this done and has the wherewithal to accept a back-end loaded financial contract, and he's in with his eyes wide open. He knows there's going to be limited income for the first 5 years and slightly more the second 10 and more the final 5 years. So, you know, we got all the pieces in place. So I think we'll get this deal done, and I think it's critical to Coffeyville. So we got our 2 houses started. We wanted shovels in the ground in May. We got that done. Footings are done. I went by today. Plumbing was being put in today. So we'll keep you updated on that. I still feel very confident on that. Ben is doing a great job. Quick study. I mean, you're getting a huge upgrade, so you guys should feel good about that. That's all for me.
Thank you.
Okay. Hopefully I can get through it here without coughing. Been a little bit under the weather. 5 days in, and very impressed with the projects that are queued up here that Tim and staff have done. Impressed with the staff. I've started meeting with our department heads. There's a bunch of them to get through. Really started kicking that off today. Sent emails out to employees, and over the next 2 and 3 weeks start going out to our different locations, getting those tours in, shaking those hands, and get to know those people. As I sit here now, from this perspective, I do, again, and I've done this to her privately, but want to compliment our clerk. My goodness, we are so organized. I'm seeing this packet of the motions and just really impressed with the work that she's doing and the staff that I've seen so forward, and look forward to keep that ball rolling.
She's good.
I forgot to say, welcome to your first meeting. Anything else any more from staff? Okay, not yet.
No, go ahead. You
this
got
is all
it.
you.
Or if you want to do it.
Yeah, you got it.
I didn't plan on saying anything. We have a sales tax chart in the back of our agenda book. We're still down overall with use tax and sales tax general. Overall, I think if I'm reading this correctly, we're down about 5.5% year to date. We lost a couple of months of sales tax because one ended before another one picked up, and carried the slack. So I read in the Nowata newspaper, the Nowata County newspaper down south of us, they had a lot of the Nowata and kind of northern Oklahoma sales tax revenues way down in a lot of towns, including Bartlesville. We're actually in really good shape here to only be down single digits, and I have every bit of confidence by the end of the year we're probably looking at an increase in our sales tax revenue. We're in really good shape.
Yeah, because that 3 months, we didn't have it.
Yeah, it was 3 months, wasn't it?
Mhm.
Yeah.
We have one more month to receive that'll be low,
Yep.
because March will receive in May.
Yep.
And so, yeah.
Yeah, one thing I would just point out, we've got a number of open positions, and our applications have increased dramatically. So I think you're starting to see some softening in the blue-collar space, and I think we should anticipate that. You know, 2023, even 22 and 23, that was a lot of COVID-related income. So, you know, from my perspective, the city needs to figure out how to grow retail sales by growing the city, you know, and growing industry and growing revenue-producing businesses, and because I think the government is not going to be able to keep funding everything. You know, they're going to hit a wall at some point. So I think the city's got to do whatever we can to protect ourselves. And again, I'm starting to see it in a number of, just the number of applicants that are coming in. Not just the number, but higher quality. So
Good.
It's great for the city from that perspective, but it does kind of indicate to me that there might be some softening going on. So just heads up.
You get 200 new jobs, 250 new jobs, paying
That'll help.
$20 an hour and more, there'll be a lot more, a lot of those people shop at Walmart in the
Well,
local
that'll
area.
snowball into other jobs.
Exactly. Yeah.
So we're in good shape.
Comments?
And I should say thanks for everybody who came out to the mansion Saturday for the concert. It was very well received, and it was a nice evening. It was a beautiful spot under the trees, and wasn't too hot. We weren't dying by the time we were done playing. It was a nice evening. Thank you.
All right, next up, we have executive session. So,
I'll make a motion to move to recess to executive session for 3 purposes. First, to engage in a preliminary discussion regarding the acquisition of real property as permitted by KSA 75-4319-B6 of the Open Meetings Act, to include the city commission, the city manager, the interim city manager, the city attorney, and director of public works for a period of 15 minutes. Second, to discuss personnel matters of non-elected personnel as permitted by KSA 75-43119B1 of the Open Meetings Act, to include the same persons for a period of 15 minutes. And third, to discuss confidential data relating to financial affairs or trade secrets of corporation partnerships, trusts, and individual proprietorships as permitted by KSA 75-4319B4 of the Open Meetings Act, to include the same persons for also a period of 15 minutes. And we will reconvene in the commission room at
8:25.
8:25.
I'll second.
Or before.
Motion is made by Commissioner Van Oster, seconded by Commissioner Maples, to recess to executive session for 3 purposes. First, to engage in a preliminary discussion regarding the acquisition of real property as permitted by KSA 75-4319B6 of the Open Meetings Act, to include the city commission, city manager, interim city manager, city attorney, and director of public works for a period of 15 minutes. Second, to discuss personnel matters of non-elected personnel as permitted by KSA 75-4319B1 of the Open Meetings Act, to include the same persons for a period of 15 minutes. Third, to discuss confidential data relating to financial affairs or trade secrets of corporations, partnerships, trusts, and individual proprietorships as permitted by KSA 75-4319B4 of the Open Meetings Act to include the same persons for a period of 15 minutes to reconvene in the commission room at 8:25 PM. Mayor Hendricks.
Aye.
Commissioner Bannister.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Faulkner.
Aye.
Commissioner Maples.
Aye.
Commissioner Edwards.
Aye. Thank you for coming, Daria.
We are reconvening from executive session at 8:15. We had 3 items. The second one about the personnel matters of non-elected personnel, we take no action. And the next item to discuss confidential data relating to financial affairs, trade secrets of corporations, partnerships, trust, and individual proprietorships, we also took no action. Relating to the discussion of the acquisition of real property, we will take action.
I am going to move, or make a motion, that we approve a contract between the City of Coffeyville and Justin McKee and Jean McKee for the purchase of the 100-plus acres on West First Street. Yes.
Do I have a second?
Second?
Now, is that all we need to say?
I think that's fine.
Off the top of it, okay.
Okay. Motion is made by Commissioner Van Oster, seconded by Commissioner Maples, to approve a contract between the City of Coffeyville and Justin McKee and Jean McKee to purchase 100 acres on West First. Commissioner Edwards.
Aye.
Mayor Hendricks.
Aye.
Commissioner Van Oster.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Faulkner.
Aye.
Commissioner Maples.
Aye.
I believe we don't have any other items to discuss tonight, so I'll move to adjourn.
I'll second.
Motion is made by Mayor Hendricks, seconded by Commissioner Van Oster to adjourn. Can I see a show of hands? Thank you.